Hey Hotshots, Jess with Emotional Fire Academy here today. Just to remind you, you're already whole and complete. We're going to dive deeper into this. Welcome to Emotional Fire Academy. This is a channel where we provide tactical mindfulness so that you can live your most epic, amazing, emotionally fulfilling life. That's what we do here. Welcome. I'm Jess. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new to the channel, I'm excited to have you. We've been growing. We surpassed 2,000 a few weeks ago. So excited for that. So thank you to everyone who made that possible. So this is a really interesting concept. And I think, earlier in my life, if someone had told me this, I'd been like, yeah, whatever. Because I, as someone who identifies as a high achiever, as an overachiever, as wanting to be at the top of the heap, as a former first responder, I was chasing. I was in a chasing mode a lot of my life. And so this kind of simplicity of this message today is so simple that it might be like, yeah, I know that. But to know it intellectually and to know it physically in a body sense, totally different stuff. So let's kind of unpack this a little bit more today. So if you will, if you're in a safe place and you're not driving a car, operating heavy machinery, just close your eyes and quiet your mind just for 2 or 3 seconds. If you can just stop your thought. Feel that? Did you feel that? That is your wholeness. That's your completeness. And you're already whole. This is kind of the big secret, I think, as we learn emotional mastery, as we get older, it's like there was something there all along that we just kind of glazed over. I know I did. I'm very guilty of this. That's our wholeness, that sensation, what you just felt, what seemed like darkness and quiet and nothingness is our wholeness, is our completeness. It is inherent to who we are. It is beneath all of the drama of the stories we're telling, right? We go back to the Emotional Fire Academy, what stories are we telling ourselves? What habits are we just acting out unconsciously? And then where's our attention going? That feeling of wholeness and completeness is there and it's always accessible to you, right? You can always take literally 2 to 3 seconds and just close your eyes and tap into that. That is your entirety, your wholeness. It's inherent to who you are. You cannot escape it. It's just like a space. To me, it feels like the backstage of a theater. I think of life as a theater, and this is the backstage area, right? It's dark, it's quiet, and the rest is just theatrics. The rest is theatrics, right? When we start telling ourselves a story again, we put on this role and we go out on stage and we're like, la la la, and we're enacting the drama of our life, of the drama of whatever we're believing and thinking and really getting into it. We get into it so hardcore that we forget we're just an actor, and that behind that, in that backstage area, is just like a space of awareness and pure potential. Where, when you're backstage, you're kind of, you're waiting to go on stage. I used to be a assistant artistic director in college, and I loved the backstage area, like behind the curtains. Nobody can see you. It's just you. You're kind of watching the drama on stage unfold, and the people in the audience are laughing, and it's this kind of really quiet, wonderful space. And we all have access to this. This is our wholeness and completeness. So we don't have to chase. We don't have to chase anything. We don't have to be constantly on stage, constantly playing a role, constantly, we can always slip back into behind the curtain, just that quiet potential, that wholeness. And I call that 0 point awareness to me. That's 0 point awareness. It is the space inherent in just being an aware being. Right? It's the field from which all of our potential arises, right? When I'm in a theater backstage, I can decide to put on any persona I want. Before I step out, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be this character or that role. And so this is why they tell people to meditate, right? Again, I've said many times on my channel that I was never a fan of meditation, but really meditation is just spending time backstage so that you're unplugging, so that you have a little bit of detachment between yourself and the character. When we get that, when we really grasp that concept, it becomes much easier to detach from the character, detach from the drama, whatever that character is believing and feeling and thinking. We can detach and move into the wings, the darkness of the wings of that mental theater, and just rest in that potential. And it's like, it not only is a rest, a break from that, but it gives us perspective, right? We do that. We move into meditation or some, a consciousness change like that in order to gain insight, right? We're using this in a tactical manner to gain insight. When we're waiting in the wings, watching, we have a better perspective, right? We have distance from the characters. We're watching them. We're watching their body language. We can kind of assess and observe, right? And make decisions from a place where we're not the person on stage so in the role that we can't even realize we're in the role, right? And the role is almost, it's just a regurgitation of what we've memorized, right? Our habits and our story. It's just, we're so in it that we don't even realize we're in it. But when we're waiting in that backstage area, we can get that distance. And that is really what mindfulness is about. That's the essence of mindfulness. And that in that is a lot of power. So nothing is wrong with you. You're already whole. You're already complete. Remember this analogy. Remember it like a theater. Whenever you're really bogged down with the drama of life, with overwhelm, with feeling like everything is going wrong, and you're just like, step back into that space of pure potential, that 0 point awareness, that quiet, thoughtless space. And you might only be able to hold it for 2 or 3 seconds. That's all you need to remind you that's the essence of who and what you are. Like, that's the foundation. That is a foundational piece, the foundational piece. And when we can just drop the story momentarily and get that perspective, beneath it all, you're fine, you're whole, you're okay. And it's like a breath of fresh air for your mind, your body, and your soul. It's like, I cannot be that for a second or two, or however long you can hold yourself there, or visit it throughout the day. I've used apps where it's a mindfulness bell. It will ring every hour, and you just spend 2 or 3 seconds going into that space as a reset. It's like a reset. So just knowing that you're already whole, you're already complete, you're already okay. You don't have to go chase to try and obtain to then feel that feeling. You can feel it. You can tap into it within yourself. It's always accessible to you. It's always there, right? The backstage area is always there for the actors. It never goes away. It never goes anywhere. It's safe and reliable. It's safe and reliable. We keep coming back to it. And then as we practice this a little bit and release the struggle, we then, in practicing, learn how to then redirect our energy, right? If we can detach from the character, from the role, from the persona, then we can actually do that more frequently to just redirect and step into a different role, persona, character, right? If we can consciously have that awareness, we can be like, okay, I'm feeling that I'm bogged down in all this drama. I step back into that backstage area, that quiet 0 point awareness. And then I can redirect myself. I can redirect myself to the things that I want to do that make me happy. Because that's really the goal in all of this, is the more we can drop the old dramatic stories, the more we can step out of the old self on command, the more we can then pursue the things that make us happy, pursue the things that bring us joy, pursue the things that we naturally and actually want to do, right? Our behaviors are more motivated than by indulging ourselves in joy and happiness and what we really, on a soul level, on a deep, deep level, want to be doing with our time and our energy and our attention. And directing our attention there. That's all we got to do. Just drop the story. Drop the story. Like, whatever it is, whatever problem we're facing, it will work itself out. Usually just redirecting our attention and being like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. The play is going to end, right? The character in the play on the stage, the curtain always closes and the play ends. I'm going to go over here and pursue my joy and act from a more authentic place, right? We again, practicing this simple skill. It sounds so subtle and so simple and so simplistic. It's like, yeah, whatever. It's easy to blow off. But in practice, when you do this, this made Huge, huge difference, huge difference. And this is something I practice daily too, because sometimes I'll slip into, I'm playing this role, I'm drama, oh wait, okay, stop. But I wake myself up faster and faster and faster and faster to the point of like, you're reconditioning yourself to recognize internally that is a character in a role in a drama that I don't want to be participating in because it doesn't feel good inside. It's not conducive to my well-being, my mental, physical, emotional well-being. So I'm going to step into this different character immediately. And you start to get quicker and quicker at it, right? Quicker and quicker. So you're already whole, complete. That the wholeness and completeness is there. It might feel like nothing when you go into that space because it's everything. Can you see the duality in that? It is everything and nothing at the same time. Because initially when you're like, oh yeah, that feels like nothing. That's just me with my eyes closed, not thinking. There's nothing there. But really when you feel into that, it's everything too. You can actually feel that, I think. You can feel the everythingness, the potential contained in that space, in that quiet, in the darkness, in the calm. You can feel it. So that's your wholeness. That's your completeness. It's already there. All we have to do is drop the dramatic character, the dramatic story, the dramatic lines, the lines that we're just spewing. We just have to drop them. The wholeness is already there, waiting in the wings for us to access whenever we want. So let me know what you thought of this. I would love to hear your comments. And thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.